All right. Hello, ladies. For me, Mondays, and we are continuing our discussion on no more private summers, and definitely want everyone to join in. And as you come in, make sure you go ahead and share the video so that ladies that need the information can get the information, as well as make sure that once you do join us and sign in, and I'm both on my personal page and New Peace Wellness with Natasha. So definitely make sure you are joining us on both pages. And for some reason, I am not seeing the stream on my personal page. So give me just a moment to refresh so that I can make sure I can see everyone. And that way, all right, so we are live, and I just wanted to make sure that both my personal as well as my business page were showing. Okay, so we are ready to go. So I am live on Natasha L Brown as well as on New Peace Wellness with Natasha. And excuse me, as you come in, again, go ahead and share the video and invite others, as well as you can make comments, and definitely go ahead and let me know if you have any questions. And if you have any questions, definitely go ahead and drop them in the comment section so that I can address them, as well as make sure that you go to our website, whathappenedtoyourlastmeal.com, which should be showing on my Natasha L Brown page at the bottom of the screen. You should be able to see that, and hopefully we're not getting any lag here. But if we are, I will share the business page onto my personal page. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And what we are talking about last week, someone typed in that I left us in a cliffhanger. And that is not what I meant to do, is leave us in a cliffhanger. But definitely we got some great feedback. So I went over just a little bit last week, some different things. And I will review that information so that we can see. Hello to everyone as you're joining. There's a delay in my comments, so give me just a moment and I'll probably be able to see who is joining us. But last week, let me just review a few things. So I talked about last week how in a lot of countries, the women, as they go into menopause, it's a time of transition, a happy time of transition, celebration. Women are not fearful of this time of life. And then we talked about some foods that you should avoid that are creating a lot of the symptoms that you're experiencing in your as you transition into menopause. So our mental attitude is a great motivator. It's a great way to avoid all of the issues that many women say they suffer from. And it's not something that you have to suffer from. It's a time of transition in life where basically you're going from one stage of womanhood into another stage of womanhood. And it's showing that you've matured. You have grown into the wisdom of being able to share with the generation behind you that what they can do, especially young women, and what they just share the wisdom as to life, basically. So our mental attitude plays a great role. And if your mental attitude is listening to everyone who has been eating incorrect foods, all of the foods that we listed last week that you shouldn't be eating, they're still eating those foods throughout their womanhood, then yes, they are going to have some signs and symptoms. And even without going through menopause, they probably had those signs and symptoms and didn't realize what was causing it, and they're just contributing it to menopause. But definitely we want to make sure that we keep in mind that menopause is not a tragic part of life. It's not saying that your youth is over. In many cases, it is the time that you're going to feel most like a woman. You're going to feel most alive. People say that your sex drive decreases. Again, those may be women that are eating or doing the wrong things to their body, and those are the symptoms they're getting. So your sexuality does not have to decrease. Your sex drive does not have to decrease. You don't have to have vaginal dryness. Your fertility, yes, is decreasing during the transition into menopause. That's not a time you want to still be giving birth unless that's what you plan to do. But this is a time of celebration, a time of loving who you are now and moving forward. And I saw a great quote that says, menopause is not a disease, and it is not a disease. And I want us to keep that in mind, that it's a great time in life. So if menopause was simply seen as a natural transition from one phase of life to another, we would definitely be able to celebrate this time, and we would have less of women sharing the negative and they would share the positive more so. Because many women, you see, each age, each decade is the new something. So 40s are the new quote unquote 20, 50s are the new 30. So whatever it is, if you just listen to what women that are maybe mature, more mature than you are, then you see that they are enjoying this time of life. They're celebrating this time of life. So I want you to keep in mind that we don't have to experience from anti-inflammatory issues because of the food that we're eating. If you get adequate exercise and definitely restful sleep, and strength training is a great exercise for this time of life. Relaxation practices are excellent as well, because you want to keep your muscle tone. You want to make sure that you're transforming the body. And there are a lot of women, female bodybuilders, that are well beyond the age of menopause or the beginning stages of menopause, and their bodies look great. So what you do to your body and how you treated your body up until you start transitioning into menopause will say a lot about how your body will transition. So we want to make sure that we are definitely doing what needs to be done in order to care for our bodies. And just want to check one thing here with my women over on my personal page. All right, and so just want to make sure that they're able to hear and see me, and if not, then I want to make a change. But just to keep going, for nutritional purposes, we talked about a lot of the don'ts on last week, not eating the fast food, not drinking alcoholic beverages, and I had a secret weapon. We definitely want to talk about that tonight. Something that, even if you're doing it as a young woman, is creating PMS issues. So if you can stay away from this particular item, then you won't have as many quote unquote female related issues with menopause or PMS. You won't have all of the issues that women talk about. So you want to avoid spicy foods, because that can trigger your hot flashes. You want to avoid your processed foods. Definitely you want to make sure you are doing what's best for the body at any age, even before you get to menopause, so that, again, you won't have those issues that many of the women complain about. So if you're eating foods that are good fats, that are giving your body the nutrition that it needs, then you'll be able to see a big difference in your body. And let me go over some of the symptoms again. A lot of the symptoms we talked about last week, a lot of them have to do with some of them PMS as well. But insomnia, mood swings, night sweats, hot flashes. Definitely you don't want to deal with hot flashes. That's where that no more private summers comes into play. As well as you want to make sure that your thought process about the whole transition is positive. If you fear your cycle each month, then definitely you're not going to have a positive experience. But if you can embrace your womanhood, you can embrace all of the things that the body does on a regular basis, because of the way we were created by God. We bring forth life. So if we can celebrate that as a woman, it makes a big difference. So our emotional state, our mental state, what we're eating all plays a large part in what we will experience. So some of the things that women complain about, pain circumstances, you have vaginal dryness, which creates sexual intercourse. It creates difficulty in sexual intercourse, and you are not going to enjoy it if you're having vaginal dryness. Fatigue, night sweats, issues with osteoporosis, hot flashes, day sweats, waking up or insomnia, not being able to get a restful night's sleep, the absence of your menstrual cycle or irregular cycles, dryness as far as your hair is concerned, and also your scalp. Having issues with your scalp. Hair loss is a large issue with many women that are dealing with menopause, as well as anxiety, dry skin, irritability, moodiness, reduced sex drive, vaginal dryness. You want to definitely make sure that you are hydrated. It'll cut down on a lot of those. Spring water is the best, as well as you want to make sure that if you can keep your body alkaline, that plays a great role in overall wellness, as well as it will help with your transition into the menopause age. So we have a lot of different foods that you should avoid, but definitely you want to eat more live foods, more fruits and vegetables. You want to make sure that you are, if you do eat meat, you want to eat the leanest form of meat. Probably want to stick more so with your poultry and your fish if you do meat on a regular basis, and not your fatty meats. So your poultry, your lean ground beef, 90% lean or better. So those are the things you want to eat. But if you are choosing meat, definitely stay away from the meats high in saturated fats, as well as you want to stay away from processed meats. You know, the lunch meats, hot dogs, all of the things that are processed, you want to stay away from those things. As well as you want to stay away from added sugar, and carbonated drinks fall hand in hand. That added sugar puts you at risk of weight gain and digestive issues. It worsens your hormones, and also it creates candida in the body, which definitely you don't want to have to deal with on top of any other symptoms. Your carbonated drinks, especially if they have the secret weapon that's causing many of the female issues, is caffeine. Caffeine is a terror on the body, female or male, but definitely on the female body. If you are consuming high amounts of caffeine, whether it's through the milk chocolate or sodas, a lot of those, the high energy drinks, supposed high energy drinks, have high contents of caffeine. If you are consuming a lot of caffeine, then this is going to create a lot of issues in the body. And so it's just making menopause, PMS worse. And I realized this when I was in high school, and I probably ate too much chocolate when I was in high school and younger. But definitely what began to happen is I realized as I was consuming the chocolate with the caffeine in it, it was definitely creating issues. So I had to find an alternative. The dark chocolate was a great alternative, and finding organic options, because they don't add the caffeine in it. So definitely reading your labels. So if you're drinking a lot of sodas, caffeinated sodas, they're high in sugar, weight gain again, as well as they are full of the caffeine, and they are creating the hot flashes. So if you drink coffee, sodas, the milk chocolate, a lot of your processed foods are infused with caffeine now. So definitely, again, read the label. I can't stress that enough. Read the label. If you are a coffee drinker in the morning and you just have to have your coffee, then what I want you to keep in mind is that you need to try, if you just have to have that coffee, something warm, and you're not necessarily addicted to the caffeine, the hot ginger tea or peppermint tea, both would be great in the morning. It will give you a different high for that morning rush that you're looking for. So also you want to make sure that you are, hello ladies, as you come in, make sure you share the video so that other women can get the information that's needed. You want to also make sure that you are not working, eating the refined oils and fried foods. And many of us, that several years ago, we transitioned from a lot of the fried foods because it was making everybody fat. So when the wellness or the health kick started, a lot of the fried foods, even one of your major fast food chains changed their name to take the word fried out of the name. They're bringing it back now, which is kind of funny, but fried foods you want to avoid. So your fried foods have the trans fats, and you definitely don't want the trans fats, and you don't want to be cooking if you just have to have fried foods and you're cooking them at home, your highly processed vegetable oils, which would be your sunflower, your corn oil, your safflower oil, soybean oil, canola oil, all of those are just examples of some of the high fatty oils you do not want to use if you're frying. Many places are selling air fryers, so you could do that, or you can oven fry using panko or breadcrumbs. So if you just have to have that crunch, definitely look for some alternatives. Also, you have your the fried foods with the trans fats cause heart problems. So even if you're not in menopause, the heart factor, it creates weight gain, it contributes to diabetes, and it also congestive impairment. So definitely a lot of things that you don't want to have to deal with on top of all of the I'm going to call them old wives' tales that have been passed down as to what menopause looks like, and menopause does not have to look like. So some foods that you can eat. And definitely welcome, ladies. Thank you all for the love and joining me. I see we had a man sneak in again. So definitely, if it's a male passing through, join me on Wednesdays at 9. That's for male and female. We talk about general wellness. On Mondays, Mondays, we deal with women being selfishly selfish. And if you're not a part of our group on Facebook, definitely join us. It's women empowering women, sharing wisdom, uplifting each other, inspiring each other. So selfishly selfish is the women's group, and definitely join that if you have not joined it. So some things you want to do, and I have New Peace Wellness has a hormone, an herbal hormone supplement. I'm going to call it a supplement. It's a blend of many of the herbs that I'm going to mention, so you don't have to get them individually. You can get this particular herb. It's New Peace Wellness. It's a menopause remedy. And you'd be able to get this with all of the different herbs that I'm going to mention already in it. And it's great for the body, and it's going to help you get over the symptoms. It's going to help the body. It's great for PMS as well. So flaxseed is something great that you can add to your body. Great for your fat. You can grind it up and sprinkle it over your foods, or you can consume it whole. You don't want to cook it though. A lot of people are cooking it. Don't cook it. Some of the herbs that you can incorporate to minimize a lot of the hormone imbalance. Try the natural remedies before you consider anything that medical professionals traditionally will promote. And I have nothing against the medical profession, but definitely always try something natural, because many of the signs and symptoms that are being treated are reversible based on how you are treating your body and what you are putting into your body. So if you are wanting to do the wellness piece, definitely contact me. The website is at the bottom, whathappenedtoyourlastmeal.com, as well as you can inbox me here on Facebook at Natasha L Brown, or you can go to my business page, New Peace Wellness with Natasha, and you can contact me there. So either way is sufficient. So, ladies, again, welcome and thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of the love that you're sharing. And make sure that you are sharing this live if you have not done so already. All right, thank you. All right, so definitely want to remind you again that caffeine was what we ended with last week. So that is the number one culprit. It's like war on the body. If you are consuming a lot of caffeine and any of the other foods or beverages that I talked about, then you are putting your body into symptoms of menopause and PMS. And I talked about it last week. I was using different spices. Cayenne was a big one. And I was wondering why I was having night sweats. So I was putting myself into these symptoms, and somebody was trying to tell me that I was going through menopause. I'm too young to go through menopause. So what I had to do was find out what I was putting into my body. Even though it's healthy, even though it is a great herb to use for different remedies, I guess I was using too much of it and no guessing it. I was using too much of it because it was giving me night sweats. So if you are having signs and symptoms of menopause, whether you're in menopause or not, what is it that you're consuming? How are you treating your body? Take all of that into consideration so that you can see where you need to eliminate or where you need to adjust. Dongqua is another one, and I can DONG space QUAI. It's a great herb that is used for female issues. Even black cohosh is another one. You have your natural vitamin E. All of these you want to get in natural form. If you can find it with just those items on the label, an all natural product, not something you'd get from a retail store that has all the fillers in it, you definitely want to get it natural or you're not going to see results. Vitamin E oil is also excellent for hot flashes, alleviate hot flashes. Your B vitamins, any vitamin that is specifically for women would be good, especially if it has added, let me see, I have the vitamin that I use. I'm not going to promote it because that is not something I am getting paid for, but it is a raw food organic vitamin. And unfortunately, I do not have a good vitamin that I promote. But I do try different vitamins. This one is raw and organic. It has a vegetable blend. It also has enzymes, probiotics. It has CoQ10 in it and some other things that will help the body. So what's great about that and what I like about it is this a whole food product, and all of my New Peace Wellness products are like that. So when I have to get something that I don't carry, that is exactly what I look for. I look for products that are whole food products. Right. No menopause at 23. Thank you, sweetie pie. See, some people forget how old I am. But even, just depending on your age, because you can start as early as your 40s with menopause. But definitely you want to keep in mind that regardless of what's going on, the symptoms that you are experiencing, why are you experiencing those symptoms? That's why it's good to have a wellness coach. Even if you only do it for a particular ailment, illness, disease for a few weeks, then that's fine. But if you can get the information you need for your body type, your personal body type, then you'd be able to go forward in a way that would be healing and healthy. So again, we have, and I think I named all of them. Oh, evening primrose is a good one. And there are several others, but I am not going to recommend a lot of herbs because many people will go through just trying those different herbs instead of finding out what's working for their body. So as I go ahead and close with the key thing I want you to remember about menopause and even PMS. Menopause and PMS are not diseases. So all of the old wives' tales about how you have to be isolated, you can't do anything, all of that is thrown out the window. This is a new century. There are many things you can do to make sure that you are embracing your womanhood and you can move forward in celebrating who you are, especially if you're transitioning into menopause. This is a time of wisdom. This is a time of self-love. This is a time, hopefully, where your children are old enough to, if they haven't already moved out the house and moved on, that you can celebrate yourself. Go out and be you. You know, many times we have children, you put yourself on pause, but this is the time to be you. This is the time to be selfishly selfish. This is a time to do whatever it is that you had planned. Sometimes we put our dreams on hold and we forget about our dreams, but you want to make sure that you can begin to remember. That's why the relaxation methods are really good. So if you're practicing meditation, allow yourself to reconnect with those dreams that you had, those desires that you had. And remember that as you go through either PMS or menopause, it is a part of who we are as reproductive beings. We are queens. We are what reproduces. Yes, we need men to reproduce, but if we forget our part in the reproductive process, then it takes away our celebration of womanhood. And I know a few women that never had cycles but had children. So the menstrual cycle, you know, with the process of going through it like everyone else, everyone doesn't go through that process. There are many women, it's rare, but it happens. So as you transition, whether you are wanting to come out of the signs and symptoms of menopause, definitely contact me so that we can set up a consultation and you can get some tips so that you won't have to experience those things. And if you are having mood swings, so everyone around you won't have to experience those things. Also, if you're transitioning into menopause and you've gotten some of the signs and symptoms I've talked about, go ahead and contact me or get you someone that can give you a holistic view on your body type, and what will work for you so that you don't have to experience menopause nor PMS in a negative way. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you have any questions, definitely drop those into the comments and I'll go ahead and answer those. And if it's something that I get a lot of, I'll do another live on this. But I think you've gotten enough information. And let me know whether you're watching live now or in the replay, if this is something you'd like to know more about and you're willing to join a class with other women so that you can freely ask questions and that you can get information specific to you. We can do a class. Type in the comment section, I'll do a class. I'll do a class. Just type that in the comment section, and that way I can gauge whether we need to do something off of Facebook so that you can get the information you need. So again, this is Natasha L Brown, your wellness informant, and I want you to remember that self-love is your superpower. I love you. Have a great week, and I will see you on Wednesday at 9 p.m. for our Wellness Wisdom Keys. And if not, I'll see you next Monday for Me Mondays. Love you. Have a great night.